Feeding time. No, Beanie, stay off that one. You got nearly all the food. No, you got nearly all the food left. Tubby's running round on the bed scared because I'm having to tell you not to eat at his bowl. He doesn't like any kind of a raised voice. Are you going to calm down, baby? You're not running round now. Oh, that's a cute look. You can stop scratching now. No, Beanie! What did I tell you last night was going to happen if you carried on trying to eat out your children's bowls? I told you next time you do it, you get a smack bum. And you know I don't like hitting you. You might get a smack bum now and then, but at least you've never been Zuma kicked. Is there anyone who understands this? Beanie, up! You know that hand signal, you're just being awkward. You know it. Get up. Or I'll film Phoebe instead. At least she's eating like she's supposed to be. Are you finished? Good girl. Now you want to scratch. Well, it's nearly 2 minutes and I don't know what time I need to keep it under the fitting shorts and not go in this new folder or appearance list or whatever you want to call it. Anything that I've posted in the last few days, I've had the definite option that I've got to answer before I press upload. But I've got a definite option. Stop, Phoebe, you're making so much noise, you've made me forget. I did still have it when you carried on making noise, but it's gone. There was a really useful point to put a post that somebody could have learned from, either that has ADHD but hasn't had as much time as an adult, someone with ADHD who might be on promethazine. Now, I'm not sure if that's why I've got a lot more respect for somebody that I've had the suspicion they've got ADHD, but I've never really had a chance to ask at a time I've thought about it until Saturday night, when he's actually threatened to hit me because something flashed up in my head of a song idea. If you've happened to be here and you've watched enough of my, what I'll term, hashtag decomp songs. A decomp is what Gemini is. Beanie, get off that. Look, this is what Beanie's been told off for. That's still Tubby's bowl. Tubby is Beanie's son. The other bowl here, the sausages from a Christmas display in Pets at Home a few years ago. And what scraps are left, she has had a decent meal. But this one will eat anything, including, he's the most likely to try and swipe some people food off your plate. When he used to beg Carrot, this is getting up to 4 minutes, but for someone still watching, they might be doing enough of a cat viewer that they discover something about a food that the pet might love, that no matter how nice and soft a coat they've got, ever since Toby started having anything with veg in, at least once a day when I can. Phoebe, please stop rubbing up the phone or you're going to get shouted at. You shouted yourself. Is there anything you'd like to sing? Would you like to sing? Yeah. Say hello. Good girl, you spoke. Speak. Speak. I can't even remember what I was trying to say other than that. Every Christmas apart from the last 2 or 3, they've had enough presents out of the Pets at Home shop Christmas display that they've got that sausage. Phoebe's got somewhere about. That's it. Can you see the red thing? That is Phoebe's. It was actually from a second Christmas, but if you can see the snacky penguin that's black and white, something to the left of it, right under the corner of the carrier, is red with strands of something that make up arms and legs, and it's got a message on the body that's mostly red, like the reindeer in the toy is wearing a t-shirt, and the t-shirt says My First Christmas, which if they'd had anything saying that Phoebe and Toby's first Christmas, they'd have had everything that said it on, because I could still afford to feed them when I'd got Greedy Beanie, Fussy Moonlight, before I the mum even come in the house, and after she had to go in the way she did, that I've had to fight to keep the young uns, as I call them, because somebody made a malicious RSPCA complaint that anything the man from RSPCA had got to complain about, I had a small list of things that had got to be done before a follow-up visit, like, see the skirting there? Because there's a food bowl near it, there's a definite layer of some sort of gruft that's splashed back from how Toby's licked when he's eating, and it's splashed back food on what looks a bit brown out of the stains on the skirting board near the bowl. They have all the mats have had a wash in the last week or just over, where I've had the opportunity. There was so little food left that I've took the bowls to empty the last bit and wash them, and took the placemats with them and given them a good scrub. Beanies is the one I couldn't 100% get clean because of how mucky he gets things, and it was that hard for how long I'd had the hot tap running that I didn't want to scald my hand anymore, helping it with a bit of hot water to come out. Whatever I'm on about, it's food or something. Somehow I started on, Beanie used to beg for carrot as a kitten, until such time as I discovered a Sheba variety that's the 50-gram pouches, and if anybody knows where to get it, please contact me on Twitter at this username without any numbers. You will find at least one account with numbers on the end, but I am the original owner of the username Rose of Freedom that you'll see in this with numbers on the end. If you happen to be watching. If you're lucky enough that you found a gem of something that you subscribe to, the cat viewers that I'd got to 24 subscribers just before, by the time it stopped, by the time I put any singing video up, I'd only done cat videos, but some of them had 1.6k views, and I've got enough since that I've got 2 1.5ks in a row, and about 3 to 4 other over a k out of about 8 or 9 videos, maybe slightly more, all filmed one weekend. Things that I want to include for anyone psychic that's made this far. I do have a handy knack of getting flashes of something I'll describe as horse silks, for the silks that the jockey wears, that you sometimes see a little picture representation of, like a t-shirt or long sleeve shirt, and a little hat decoration, because some jockeys, there's 2 or 3 people in the similar colours in one race, and only thing is, between the tops, if you know enough to look at the head, it might have a full stop of a different colour on it, it might be spotty all over, or it might be just standing enough that it makes you think, it's this one I've betted on that I'm looking at now out of the three possible the same colour. And if you ever have the chance to tell me you go in the bookies and I get some combination of colours, or I actually get some word, like the time nobody was even studying me, the time I can tell you, it's like somebody said, Dalrymple, right into my ear, in the bookies that used to be on Oxford Street. It was a Coral, but it's been shut years. That's where I used to live at my old address 2 houses back. My last address, I could go to Betfred or Coral when I first moved in, and I am more of a Betfred person, but I'll go in William Hill and things like that if there's no Betfred available. But they are who I chose for my account. And I've had enough money that the last time it went up to 6 or 7 something, from me thinking I'd got £2 something or £3 something left. Last time I'd had enough of a win to get £3.50 extra on top of what I knew I'd got was when Karen Carney won Strictly. That anyone psychic will be interested to know, I have a knack of saying and doing things that get me a bet on before anything too major goes on, an odds drop. I heard enough about the year Leicester won the Premiership title that I should have put a bet on in the first 3 months before it got to the point they were in such a position at Christmas they were guaranteed a win of the title if they just stayed on the current form. And I think they did better after Christmas, I don't know. I just know Leicester won one season, and it was most likely this season that I knew Jose Mourinho was getting the sack from Chelsea, and I've said Mourinho's off and Chelsea's going down. That I've had shit about because I've got a relative called Chelsea. And that's as much as you're going to get out of me on naming someone. Apart from This Is Phoebe, this you've gathered by now, even if you never watched before, is a very naughty and willful little shit of a cat. I love the bones of him, and if he was in any kind of mood to do a trick, you'd have got something out of him. But Chubby hadn't touched his breakfast. Phoebe had some scraps left in, that she's left enough of breakfast that there's more scraps than there was, so I know she's left some of her breakfast, but she's ate most of it. And this is what Beany has left out of half or a full pouch of Felix. And when he ate enough of that he was still going to go here, he's got a section of a pouch of turkey and goose that I can only get if Heron on Freemo Grimsby has still got the particular turkey and goose pouches that are 3 for £1, just for the benefit of anyone with a heron. The nearest heron to me doesn't have them in stock anymore, but I have had enough to buy £2 worth out of what I was spending that come to maybe 20 quid, and I've had that one come to a 35 quid when I've only meant to get a few basics like sugar and bacon and a bottle of milk for spare if it's a week where I've lost a shopping trip. It is gone 6 in the morning and this is definitely the longest one yet. Toby was just scratching that and it's a nice long one. There is a can on there but I don't want to touch it while he's that close, because he does get frightened of any spray can since the first time I had to take a can of spray in the bedroom when he was a kitten. And I know anybody that's sprayed anything on him has only done it when he's been shut in the bedroom and they've gone to use the toilet. If that's happened. And there's somebody I call Batman if I'm willing to speak about them online, just to give them a bit of anonymity they don't deserve. But the only reason they get it is because they've got a cousin with sensitive information about them that seems to be on the telly a lot, and I could name 2 or 3 different things that you'd know exactly who it was, but That's my youngest surname, as well as the person I call Batman, and a celebrity. It's been on more than one channel. And if they ever give him enough money to go on I'm a Celeb, there will be songs about how funny I find something or how clever something is, with bits of phrase and bits of, that's a gem, I've got to write that down, I can work it into a song that got, we're over 15 minutes, bye, I'll do another one. Sorry, bye, love you all.